Hi, and welcome to your free ukulele lesson. Keep in mind this free ukulele lesson is at the beginning level, and today we're going to be learning the C and G7 chord, and they're located in the corner here of the board, C and G7. You'll see that the C chord is using the third finger, left hand, the third finger, and the G7 is using the 1, 2, and 3 fingers to make the G7 chord. Now we're going to go over all of this in a little bit, but I just wanted to break down the technique so that you could see and understand it. Now, this is a transition between chord, the changing of the chord. So when you change from C to G7, the best way to do it is to look for something that makes it easier for you to change, like using a finger that could be a guide. For instance, C is using the third finger to make the C chord. Now to move the G7, what you're going to do is take that third finger, move it down 1 fret. So you move down for the 3rd fret to the 2nd fret, and then you're going to bring on the first 2 fingers, 1 and 2 over here. That would form your G7 chord, see? G7 chord, and then the G7 chord. Then moving from the G7 chord to your C chord, it's pretty easy. All you would do is take off these first 2 fingers, 1 and 2, and keep that 3rd finger there and slide it back up to your 3rd fret, and that would be your C chord. Okay? So that's the transition and fingering that you would do, and the technique that you would do to change between the C and G7 chord. Okay, now let's try that with an actual ukulele. So, grab your ukulele. I'm going to show that technique to you and how to do that. So here's the C chord with my left hand, 3rd finger. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm sliding from the 3rd fret on that first string down 1 fret to the 2nd fret. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 other fingers, 1 and 2, above it to make the G7 chord. Right? Then what I'm going to do to go and make my C chord is I'm going to lift off that 1 and 2 finger, 1 and 2, leave the 3rd finger on, slide back up to a C. Okay? Once again, the fingering is 3rd finger for the C, G7 chord you're using 3 fingers, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. Kind of pause for a second, or pause the tutorial, and try the G7 chord. Remember, it's 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So let's try that technique again one more time. We're using this technique right here in transitioning from a C to a G7 and then back to a C. Once again, here's my C chord with my ring finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Sliding into a G, just slide on down to the 2nd fret. Put the 1st and 2nd fingers above it. You got a G7 chord. And then when we're going to go back to the C, we're going to lift off our 1st and 2nd finger, leave our 3rd finger on the fretboard, slide it back up through the 3rd fret, and we got a C. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to back up the tutorial from here and try this technique again. Okay, I'll give you about a second or two, and we'll move on. Okay, so assuming that you did that, keep in mind that what makes the learning process easier is that you're looking for something to make it easier for you when you switch the chords. For instance, if you notice, the C chord is being used with a 3rd finger, the 3rd finger. You also have a 3rd finger over here on the G7 chord. And what that means is that your 3rd finger never has to leave the fretboard. Never having to leave the fretboard. The only thing that has to move is this 1 and 2 fingers. And that 3rd finger just slides between the 2 frets depending on what chord you're playing. So if you break it down that way, it's pretty easy. Okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do that's going to help you to learn faster is we're going to preview the music. So in the email that I sent you, you have a song on the bottom half of your email. You can print it out. Now what I did was basically I just printed out the song section in the email, and I cut and paste it, put it right into Word. Some folks just like to print out the whole email and then do it that way. I think that it might be a little smaller if you did it that way, and it'll probably be on the bottom of the page. However, whatever it is you want to do, that's fine. I'm just giving you the suggestions. Now, what I actually did was I cut and paste the music section from the email, put it into Word. Then I made the font a little bigger so it's easier for me to see. As you can see, the music that I'm using is a lot bigger. See how small that is? A lot bigger. So, because I like my music big, so it's easier to see for me. However, it's up to you and how you want to do it, as long as you can follow along. We're going to be doing this song as Buffalo Gals here in a sec. Now, before you play the song, I want to talk to you about holding the ukulele and finding your strum zone. So, normally there's three types of ukuleles. Tenor, concert, I'm holding a concert, and then a soprano, which is smaller than this. I normally play a tenor. I don't normally play concert, but I have a concert today, so I'm going to show it what I'm talking about on this concert. Keep in mind, you want to be strumming or having your strum zone somewhere on the fretboard. For the concert, my strum zone's right about here in this area. On a tenor, you're going to have more fretboard, so you're going to have more area to choose from. On a soprano ukulele, you're going to have less fretboard and less to choose from. Now, you want to find a comfortable spot on your forearm. Here's my forearm. Find a comfortable spot, bring the hand down, and just like a stylus on a phonograph, it finds your strum zone. Okay? So my strum zone, forearm, come down. For me, this is my strum zone. For the first time we do the song, we're going to do a downward strum. So making sure that the finger is strumming every single string, okay, in our strum zone. I just have my fingers curved in a little bit like this, fingers protruding out, coming down like this. If you want to get really exact, if you notice my finger is a little diagonal, like facing up a little. And the reason why I do that is just because it slides over the string easier. Okay. Now, before we start the song, we want to preview the music. Preview the music, meaning look it over. So what you want to do is you want to look over the music, making sure that you can do every single chord change. So basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm looking at the music, and I'm not playing. I got my right hand over the ukulele string so it can't sound. And with my left hand, I'm just making the chords, making sure I can play all the chords. C, okay, I see a C, and then there's a G7, and then there's a C, quite a C again, G7, okay, and a C, C, and a G7. So I'm just making sure that I can do those chord changes, okay? Because if you can't do the chord changes now, you won't be able to do them when we play the song together. So pause the tutorial, take about a minute, try to do this chord change, make sure you're smooth, make sure you're accurate on your chord change, and then come on back. Give you about a second. Okay, now we're going to do the song with a downward strum. You know where your strum zone is. I'll give a 4 count, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was walking down the street, down the street, down the street. Handsome gal a chance to meet, oh she was fair to see. Buffalo gals, please come out tonight, come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo gals, please come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon. Okay, good. Now we're going to try that again, except we're going to do an up and down strum. Okay, now this up and down strum is basically with your strum hand, you're strumming down, touching every string, coming up, touching every string. And you're in your strum zone. This is my strum zone. Okay. Hold your strings dead for a little bit. Just make sure you can do it smoothly. Go slowly. And it kind of just strum it lightly. As you get a little better. And notice that as I go down, my finger points up. As I go up, my finger points down. As I go down, my finger points up. As I go up, my finger points down. Okay, and you want to do it lightly. Okay, so like you're barely touching. Just get comfortable with how the strings feel under your finger. Okay, then after you get comfortable, the strumming rhythm will be kind of like a gallop. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, and that will be the strumming rhythm, and we're going to play it about the same speed. So what I'll do is I'll do a little strumming rhythm for a little few seconds, and then I'll give a 4 count. So right now, see if you can do this with me. And then what I'm going to do is I'll give a 4 count, then we'll start the song together. Okay, I'll do this for a few more seconds. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was walking down the street, down the street, down the street. A handsome gal I chanced to meet. Oh, she was fair to see. Buffalo gals, please come out tonight. Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Buffalo gals, please come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon. Okay, so give that a try again and try it a few more times, but it's important that you do the techniques I talked about, because that's really the secret on getting you to play faster, learning the instrument faster. If you would like more information on how to enroll in the complete course, or basically just to get more information on the courses that are available, for instance, we have courses ranging from beginning to advanced, and the courses cover more information and much more techniques on how to learn faster, then go ahead and write to me at the email at the bottom, buenoukulele@yahoo.com. Most of all, I want to thank you for stopping by and checking out your free ukulele lesson. And check it out if you need more information. Once again, write to the email at the bottom. Okay, thanks for stopping by.